be here, coming at you guys, well, with what I believe, because I keep changing it, but I went today undefeated in Core TCG Locals with this deck list. This is my Shaddoll Invoked deck list. I've been going minimum X1, but today specifically, I went undefeated, and I feel like this new version of the deck is so clean, so efficient, so fast. I'm gonna give you guys all my deck choices, all the reasons why I play them. And before I say anything, every time I do this, I always mention that I don't play Dogmatica, and I don't mention why. So I'm gonna mention why real quick to you guys, so you guys we go over on the same page, and then we're gonna go over to the main side, actually give you guys all my reasonings. Okay, you guys want to check me out live playing this deck, go ahead and make sure to click the link down below, twitch.tv/YGOPaisano. Greatly appreciate that, guys. The reason why we don't run Dogmatica cards is because they're inefficient. They're too slow, and they conflict with what the deck really wants to do. If you're playing Invoked, if you're playing Shaddolls, you basically have one goal: to fusion summon as much as possible, put fusion monsters on the board, and gain value whenever, if they was to ever leave the board, which is easier said than done from a lot of these cards. By playing Dogmatica, you kind of limit yourself doing that. Don't get me wrong, I think your opening turn's insane, but your subsequent turns only get less and less good as you draw, Dogmatica cards, or as you play less of the Shaddoll engine and more Dogmatica engine, which inhibits a play style that you want to do. We want to play mid-range. We want to play our opponent turn 1 like we want to play our opponent turn 5. We want to do those same things. We want to keep putting bodies on the board, dancing around on the board with other bodies. That sounds kind of weird, but it is what it is, okay? Look at Dogmatica cards. You really can't do that. And listen, don't get me wrong. I think some of the Dogmatica cards are really good, but if you're playing Dogmaticas, you always want to see only one card, the Dear Servant, along with another engine. Maybe like an Invoked engine, or maybe the Shaddoll engine. But you don't want to hard open like a Fluid Delete, or hard open Maximus, which Dogmatica players are starting to play for some ungodly reason. But you just don't want to open those cards. And I feel like with this deck, this is the most efficient, cleanest version of the deck. Once again, we went 4-0 today. I've been going X1 previously, just X1 non-stop. Today we went 4-0, and I'm really excited to show you guys this new version of the Shaddoll deck list, Shaddoll Invoked. Alright, so right out the gate, we always play 3 Alistairs. Some people might consider playing 2, I guess. I mean, if you want to run a Terraforming and 3 Meltdowns and Alistair, you can do that. But I don't like Terraforming. I took it out of my deck, and I'll explain why in a second. But we run 3 Alistair. For the Shaddoll lineup, nothing's really changed. We're still running the 2 Squamata, the 2 Hedgehog, the double Wendy, the 1 Beast, the 1 Dragon, and 1 Ariel. The thing with the new Shaddoll monsters is, even though they're really, really, really cool, they're very, very, very situational. Where these cards are pretty much blunt on what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to Ariel, you're mostly doing it against like Lich players to clean their graveyard and stuff like that. Dragon, pop a card. Beast, draw a card. The other Shaddoll cards are insanely situational, and right now, I personally, as a competitive player, do not feel comfortable playing with them. There's a big event this weekend, the Extravaganza, and I'm looking forward to playing this deck at the Extravaganza. And I'm not adding those new cards in because, to be honest with you, it would take way more to play those new cards at this event this weekend. So that's why I'm not looking forward to doing it, and I'm not going to. I'm playing this exact list more than likely. Maybe it might change a little bit. I don't know yet, but right now, like I said, today the deck ran like butter. Later on today, I'll probably post a video of me playing against one of the decks today and show you how clean this deck ran. Okay, so that's the main monster lineup right there. For the hand trap lineup, it's always going to be 9 cards. The first 3 is going to be Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. The next 3 is going to be Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. And the final 3 is not Lancey like we had before, but Drone Lockbird. So remember in the beginning of the video, I talked about how like Dogmatica isn't as good. If you're playing Dogmatica Invoked, this card just ends your turn. 100%, just ends your turn. 1 card ends your entire career. And I really feel like with Drone Lockbird, doing that to a player playing Dogmatica Invoked, or any kind of, even a mirror match, it can definitely end their turn or make them have a board that's not good. And once again, that's one thing we want to go back to. If my opponent can have a board that's not that good of a board, we're happy, because we're going to break whatever they put on us. So, and if they pass turn, no problem, we get the setup board up. Here's a window. Now you have to answer to this window. And I might have a Schism underneath it, or an El Shaddoll. So, that's basically what this card helps do, and it's phenomenal at it. I really do like this card a lot. I think this card is definitely better than Lancea, even though I do like Lancea. Yes, we don't run any light targets in the main deck, but you don't necessarily need to run it when we have an extra deck, as well as what our opponent donates to us when we just take their cards with invocation, stuff like that. But yeah, I think Drone's definitely the way to go. Okay, so that's our hand shop lineup. That's our main deck lineup. For our spells, we're playing 2 Magical Meltdown, 3 Shaddoll Fusions, 3 Sewer Polys, 2 El Shaddoll Fusions. We're running 2 Invocations, The 1-ups is 1 Call to the Grave, 1 Foolish Burial, and we're also running in this build 2 Pot Desires. Now, we're running a 40 card build, so that's why we're playing 2 instead of 3. Had we increased Pot Desires to 3, we'd have to increase the deck to more. And if we increase the deck more, it just makes it inconsistent. I mean, if you play Shaddoll Invoked, you already know that some of the hands you can draw are not that good. They're just inconsistent. So that's why you play Phantasme. Well, why not add Desires in a 40-card deck to have us maximize the potential of drawing good cards? Obviously, you want to get your Alistair off and have Invocation in hand before you Desires. If you summon Alistair and your opponent lets you add Invocation, there's a good chance you're going to be able to Desires and get value because your opponent would normally Ash the Alistair, which is a smart play. Alternatively, if you summon Alistair and your opponent ashes your Alistair place so you don't get Invocation, you can't still Desires. Though you are risking losing Invocation, you still have other cards like Suapali to help you keep up back from that. So that's also the kind of give and get you could do with this deck. And the final 2 cards are still Restoral Fusion, Soul Schism. So this is the full deck list, guys. I really feel like this deck is the best deck of the format, 100%, no doubt in my mind. I think every deck in the meta right now does not want to play against Shaddolls. Maybe because it's Winda. Well, it's because of Winda. Not even maybe. It's because of Winda. But I do think that this is a great 40-card deck, and I do think this deck has a great matchup against everything in the meta right now. Maybe I don't know, Mystic Mindburn, I guess. But if you're playing Mystic Mindburn, like, why don't you go play like Solitaire? Okay, extra deck. So we're running 2 Construct, 2 App Cologne, 2 Winda. We'll put that one to the side. That's my baby right there. We're running 1 Invoked Ogoides. Oh wait, how do you say it right? Ogoides. I gotta say it. It has a different name. It's not Ogoides. I forgot the name already. But anyway, we run that card. We're running 1 Mechaba, 1 Purgatrio, 1 Ragin, and then we're running our links. Gonna be Artemis, Predator Verde Conde, Gravity Controller, and Starting Vet Infusion Dragon. There it is right there. The special card we're running is El Shaddoll Shekanaga. This card has been floating around my 15 slots, been floating around nonstop. We went from Caliga to Elysium to Shekanaga. And I gotta be honest with you guys, Shekanaga is definitely the correct answer. Let me explain why. Let me sell you on Shekanaga. When you play, if you have a Suapali, the minute you play against almost a majority of the decks that this card can proc on, you're in a good position. But if you're on Suapali, no big deal. You can still go Anaconda, and Anaconda will get you Suapali. So it really doesn't matter. Okay? So, when you play, if you have a Suapali, and you're playing against any kind of Ellic, let's say Zodiac. Every Zodiac monster is Earth. You Shekanaga. You play against your opponent, and one of the best cards against his deck also is Colossal, the big Link guy that needs other Link guys. I think it's Colossal. He's Earth. Guess what? You Shekanaga. When your opponent plays that Blacklisted Soldier, okay, Ghost Rift, Ghost in the Past, thinking they're nice, you still apply them, and you Shekanaga. Shekanaga is just a phenomenal card. And I do think that this card, Triclops, is Megaclops. Mega Triclops is the other guy. This card's absolutely insane. I did it today earlier where my opponent had a Clops, and then I just show him Shekanaga, and it just worked out good from there on in. Shekanaga also has a built-in effect. If you just discard a Shadow card, you're going to get a monster effect by a special summon monster your opponent has. This card's absolutely insane. So I really do like Shekanaga a lot, and yeah, the side deck is perfect in my opinion. I really do think it's done. The main deck, I think it's pretty clean. Let's go into the side deck. I'm not sure I said the side deck or extra deck. Anyway, obviously we're still running 3 Nibiru because when we play against Dragon Links, obviously this is one of the cards you want to use. Once again, you're not going to break their board and end their turn. You're going to make them play a crappier version of the board that they want to play with this card. That's why you play Nibiru. Then we have their 3, they're going to be 1. This card's absolutely insane. Any pure deck has an issue with they're going to be 1. And we don't really main it because, once again, we don't have the room. But they're going to be one's a great card to have in the side deck when going first against a lot of these decks. One specifically being Dragon Links. They're all dragons. Flip this with a Winda. And, yeah, that game's done. They Dark Ruler no more you. So let's say you're playing against Dragon Links. They like Dark Ruler no more you Winda. I think they're being adorable. And then they go to summon a dragon, and you're like, oh, that's funny. They're going to be 1. Or you wait to summon the second one, but I usually do on the first one because I'm looking to end them anyway. Let them have cards in their hand before we, take them out. Anyway, the other one's a phenomenal card. I really do think this card is definitely a must-have for any player playing Shaddoll Invoked, also because we could easily play around it. Construct is a fairy. Winda is a spellcaster. I mean, there's a lot of ways to just dance around that card with this deck really easily. Obviously, we're still running evenly matched against. It's great against Elric variants, great against a lot of control decks, and we're talking about cards that are good against control decks. We're also running two Lightning Storms and a Harpy's Fedluster, and these cards right here is what you're gonna do to break back rows, break decks that try to play like slower game state than what you're trying to play. You play these 6 cards, you break their deck, and you keep on trucking. So I think these cards are insane. And then the last 3 cards is Triple Tactics Talents. My favorite card of the format, my favorite card in the game right now for competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! 3 banned cards. All I need you to do is activate a monster effect. Round 4, and I'll show it, and the video will be up later on. I played against my opponent. He was playing Prank Kids. He went to Battle Butler. He had 3 Prank Kid monsters on board. I had a Phantasme. He Battle Butler blew my Phantasme up, so I had no monsters on board. So then I went Talents to take his monster, and I took his Battle Butler. And then I activated Battle Butler and blew his monsters up. Because Battle Butler needs monsters on my side of the board, and since there's no monsters on my side of the board, I just took it. And then I activated it, and I blew him up. And he was really upset about that. And I would be too, being in his shoes. So once again, this is my Shaddoll Invoked deck list, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the like button, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. I know I read all your comments. I just don't get a chance to really sit down and get a chance to answer them as much as I would like to. But I do see all your comments. And yeah, this is the best deck of the meta right now. I do think a lot of players are playing either against this deck or trying to play this deck. You don't need Dogmatic if you run this deck. Dogmatic is way too slow. It has a lot of cute plays, but this deck is a straight savage. It's a board breaker, and it ends the game or locks the game. That's what this deck does, and it does it really, really, really well. And with the addition of cards like... like Draw and Lockbird, you're going to be able to slow the game state down. With additional cards like Hot Desires, it's going to allow us to add bet more cards to get a combo off more proficiently. Once again, I'll have more videos of Shaddoll's versus my commentary series. It'll be on the channel, so if you want to check that out, once again, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to see me play this deck live, go ahead and click in the description down below on my Twitch channel. Make sure to hit that follow button. And if you'd like to support my Twitch channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. It's your boy, YGOPaisanos. You guys have a great day.